What we're going to talk about is how to keep your devices up to date. Not so much as like you've got the newest phone, but you've got the updated software for the phone. So the hardware is the phone itself. The software is what's making the phone work. So when you download a new operating system or there's an update for your phone, that's what we're talking about today, is how to keep those devices, both your phone, tablet, if you use a laptop or a desktop computer, how to keep those running on the newest software so that they're updated. Keeping your devices up to date. The underlying question here is your phone, tablet, or computer running on the latest software? You probably get notifications that look a little bit like that one on the right there about software updates. Like there's a new software update for your phone. We're going to talk today about why it's important to install those updates as soon as possible when you get them. And then I'll walk you through the steps to do that as well. And also we'll talk a little bit about updating operating systems for computers as well. We'll start with phones. Why is it important to install updates? And this is true on your phone, your tablet. It's true on your computer too. What an update is basically like an improvement of the software that's used to run your computer. So the people who design how phones and computers work are constantly making changes to make it safer, to protect against viruses and malware. So anything that could get into the software of your phone and mess with things. So protection against that, protecting the data that you have on your phone or device, improving the performance. So maybe making the battery last longer or making it run more smoothly or run more apps at a time or something like that. And also just providing new features that aren't available in older versions of that software. So you may have noticed if you do one of these software updates, you open your phone and it looks a little different, like the setup's a little different. That's part of it too. It's like they're trying to make it better designed for users, that sort of thing. One of mine went off in the middle of the night and I woke up the other day and opened my phone and it looked all different. I was like, well, something happened. And so that was an update that I had just scheduled to do overnight. If you have something automatic on your phone doing updates and you notice like suddenly your phone setup looks a little different, it's likely that it will also alert you that it's done an update. So we're going to talk about how you check for updates. And we'll talk about Android and iPhone. So on Android, what you want to do is go to that settings gear. On my phone looks a little different than it did last time because my phone just recently did an update, but you're just looking for the gear itself. So see mine is settings here. So you can either go there or you can scroll down from the top and hit this gear here and it'll take you to the same place. So that's just two methods of getting to those settings as a first step in checking to see if there are any updates to your phone. So either go directly to the app or scroll down hard from the top and you'll see it up in the top right-hand corner, just looking for that gear shape. And then once you hit the gear, you're in the settings menu, you're going to scroll almost all the way to the bottom and click on software update. You see that one right there. And I'm going to look at download and install. I actually know I don't have any updates because it just did it the other day, but it'll tell you if you don't have any new updates, it'll tell you your software is up to date. So let me show you that one more time. You're on that settings menu from clicking on the gear, scroll down to software update. You should see, it'll tell you when your last update was too. Click there. If there's something to install, it'll pop up here and you just click on install. And one thing to keep in mind, like I said, I had mine set up to do it overnight. You don't want to do a installation of a software update when you really need your phone for other things, because somewhere in the process, it's going to have to restart itself. And if you're in the middle of something, that could be really annoying. So just make sure that you've got a few minutes that you're not really reliant on your phone. Most of these don't take super long to update because they're usually just little quick fixes now. But give yourself like 10-15 minutes that your phone is not necessary to you, just because it will actually restart itself at some point. For iPhone and iPad, and this actually works for Mac computers as well, we'll look at that in a minute. The process is really similar. To check for software updates on your iPhone or iPad, you're going to tap on your version of that gear icon, which is the settings, just like on Android. And then you're going to tap where it says general. It'll be in the top part of the menu here. And then you're going to tap on software update. If there is an update for your phone, you'll see something here. And you can choose, it gives you this nice option to choose either update now or update tonight. And again, if you do update tonight, it'll happen overnight when you're likely not using your phone. And that can be helpful just because it does it without you having to think about it. And then you wake up and your phone looks a little different. I was trying to figure this out, and I think it depends on what kind of phone you have. Some Android phones, I think, are set up ahead of time to automatically install updates. some are not. So if you are not automatically doing updates on Android, the thing that will happen is that you'll get a bunch of notifications that there's a new software update available for your phone, and it will not leave you alone until you do them. That's one of the ways that you find that out on Android. On iPhone and iPad, you can actually go into your settings and set up automatic updates so that it'll just automatically do whatever the next update is. And I do believe that the automatic updates will also be scheduled for late hours at night, so you're not in the midst of doing something. So that can be helpful too. But to do that, what you want to do is tap on that settings gear again, then tap on general again, and then tap on software update. And then you should see here that you have the option to iOS is the operating system. So that's the software. You can automatically install those updates. You can also do this with security responses and system files. We're more concerned right now about the updates themselves. And then you can say automatically download them as well. If you're into having all of this done automatically, just go ahead and check them all off. And then you won't really have to think about it as much. Somewhere along the way, when you're trying to download an update to your phone or device, there's not enough space available for you to do that download. And that can be really frustrating. One of the easiest ways to free up space is to get rid of apps or uninstall or delete apps that you don't use or that you very seldom use. And remember, in the future, if you need that app, you can always download it again. But if it's something that you're not using on a regular basis, you can get rid of it, and that should free up some memory. If you have a bunch of those, that might just free up enough memory that you're good to go for a little while. So sometimes we download apps for like a one-time thing, and then they're just sitting on our phone taking up space. If you get this message, it's a really good idea to go in and review which apps you're actually using, because otherwise they're going to sit there and take your space. And I just wanted to show you how to delete an app if you didn't know. It's pretty simple. You can do it straight from the screen. So let's say this AR doodle, I don't want that. I'm going to hold down on it and go to uninstall, which is the same as delete. And then I'm going to click OK. This is on an Android phone. So again, find that app I don't want, click and hold down until you see that menu. And then you're going to say uninstall and then say yes or OK. And that will get it off your phone. It's funny, just looking at that, I saw some other ones I could probably uninstall too. So it's a good idea to just periodically check your phone and be like, I had that app for that one event or like this one purpose. I don't actually need it there all the time. And then on iPhone or iPad, it's going to be really similar. You're going to hold down on the app and then it's going to jiggle. That's the thing that it does for iPhones. It does a little like wiggle. And then you'll have the option to delete the app. So go ahead and delete it from there. Again, do those for whatever apps you're not really using. Remembering that you can always re-download them if you need to in the future. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about doing updates on your computer, especially since there have been some changes to operating systems specifically for computers running on Windows. So I just wanted to keep you up to date on that. So if you use a MacBook or a Mac desktop computer, you check for software updates in a really similar way to how you do it on the iPhone or iPad. So you're going to go to the Apple menu. It's going to be in the top right hand of your screen. It's the thing that just looks like a little Apple icon. Select System Settings and then go to General, and then you're going to check software updates. And you'll see this is actually a screenshot from the laptop I'm using right now, and I actually have an update to do here. So what I would do here is click on Update Now, and I should go ahead and do that. I have my automatic update on, but that doesn't seem to have gone through yet. So I could just click on it and get that done. So that's on a Mac. Again, go to the Apple menu in the top right-hand corner, System Settings, General, and then Software Updates. And it should tell you if you have anything. If you don't have anything in there, that means you're up to date. It'll tell you you're up to date. If your computer runs on Windows, it's basically any computer, maybe with some exceptions, but most computers that are not Macs are going to be running on Windows. So in order to check that you have the latest update of Windows, you're going to go to that start icon that's down at the bottom in the bottom left-hand corner and select Settings and then Windows Update. And here we can see you're up to date. So if you get that message, you are good to go. I wanted to talk a minute about Windows 11. If you have a computer that runs Windows, so it's not a MacBook, it's not a Mac desktop computer, you may have gotten this notification recently that you need to install Windows 11, that they're going to stop providing support for Windows 10. I just wanted to answer some questions about that for anybody who's seeing this and worried about whether they can still use Windows 10 or Windows 11. So you can still use Windows 10. The older version And what they're going to do is they're not going to be doing more security updates for Windows 10. Whatever version of Windows 10 you have, you kind of just have that indefinitely if you don't upgrade. So they're not going to do security updates or anything like that. So if you're worried about security, you're worried about future functionality of your computer, I would encourage you to get Windows 11 just for that reason. So you want to make sure that you're still getting the best security updates and making sure that you're keeping your computer and your data safe. So right now that upgrade to Windows 11 is free. Your computer has to meet certain specifications in order for you to be able to download Windows 11. And you can figure out whether you do by downloading this PC Health Check app. It'll tell you you're good to go for Windows 11, or it'll tell you there might be other things you need to do. And if you are good to go, then it will just prompt you to go ahead and download Windows 11. If you don't meet the requirements to run Windows 11, you might have to do a couple updates before then. I do recommend automatic updates. I feel like if I have to think about it too much, the likelihood that I'll forget or I just put it off for a while, the automatic is really helpful.